Hello everyone, I'm Buck Weezer, putting the do into do-it-yourself, and I welcome you to another video with Buck's Small Engine DIY on YouTube. Working today on the Wheelhorse 520 hydrostatic, and I think that my hydraulic cylinder right down there that operates the the implement lift, be it the mower deck or the plow, is leaking, but I'm not entirely sure and I can't get a good look at it. I noticed a puddle of oil under it last time I had it parked, and you do see down here quite a lot of, see if a flashlight helps, quite a lot of built up dirt and oil where that hose plugs into the one side of the cylinder. Also, when I move the hose, that looks really loose. I don't know if that's normal. I wouldn't think so. Is it possible that it's leaking out of there? Now, I don't have a good view of the whole cylinder. I might need to take off this footrest and this plate here to get a better look. But I think what I want to do is I just want to fire up the tractor, operate the lift. You know, I don't have any implements attached right now, but still operate the lift with the lever right here and just see if anything, if there's obviously fluid leaking somewhere. We'll just start there, and then maybe if necessary we'll open it up a little bit more to take a closer look. Alright, well, it's definitely working. I noticed in the forward position the lever gets stuck. It should probably pop back on its own when you release it. You gotta actually pull it back. So I don't know if that's an issue or not, but you can see the cylinder move a little bit, so you can see it move up or down, so you know something's happening. So now, having operated it for 5 or 10 times, does seem moist at the base of that hose, but I don't know if anything is completely obvious to me. So I'm going to take this I'm going to open this up a little bit and see if I can get a better look at what's going on. Okay, it took a little bit of work, but I was able to get access here to the hydraulic cylinder. I had to drill out some of the bolts that hold on these pieces because they were just, 30 some years of rust. Now, let me just make a couple of observations real quick. Through here we get access to the valve down here, and it's covered with 30 some years of grime and dirt, but none of that is actively wet. It's kind of dried on there, grime and dirt from many years of service, but I don't see any active leaks there. Here, where we can see the whole valve, we've got 3 hoses. The one would be bringing hydraulic fluid to the valve, as I understand it, and then 2 hoses to the operation of the cylinder, because this is a double acting cylinder. So we got hydraulic pressure coming from here and from here, depending on whether we are opening or closing the cylinder. This end is dry. Don't see any leaking from down here. That's dry. I mean, dirty. But the active wetness is all up here. And down here you can see it's wet here at the bottom of the front end of the hydraulic cylinder. So that seems to be where the problem is. And I don't know if it's where this hose connects. That's what I'm suspecting it probably is. Especially because this top is loose. I mean, I don't see any leaking out. That it's not wet at the top of the hose, it's just wet at the cylinder. So where the hose bolts into the cylinder, maybe there's a gasket or an O-ring there that's failed. I'm not really sure. And I don't really want to open up a can of worms and fix things that aren't broke, because when you touch things on a machine this old, they tend to break just by touching them. But I'd like to take the cylinder down and get a closer look. It seems to me our problem is up here. Wouldn't you agree? So I need to take this brake pedal off, undo the two hoses, and also where the cylinder connects to the lift arm. And you know, we'll take it from there. I'm reluctant to touch all of that. It's just really hard to access. But you know, we're into it now, so let's see where it takes us. Alright, so we got to take this brake pedal off. I removed the cotter pin to release it from the arm that goes to the brake. And now this ring is held on, it's got a 1/8 Allen key. You have to loosen that. So I've done that. But this guy's not sliding off. And I think part of it is someone painted this at some point. So everything's got a kind of a thick layer of paint that makes it hard to slide it off. I don't think that's the Allen key, but I'll back it off some more just to be sure. Actually, I took it out, so that's not it. So it's coming, but it's just tight. All right, got to keep working on that. No need for you to watch me do all that. And then these brake, and there's little spacers and bushings in there that are part of it too. So pull all of that off and proceed from there. Hey, well, sometimes I think I'm inventing problems that don't exist or misdiagnosing things. So I've cleaned up this hydraulic cylinder, and I'm starting to think my problem is not the hydraulic cylinder leaking. We were running the engine and operating it. It's looked nice and I didn't see any leaking. I'm wondering if what I've got is an oil leak from the engine. With these connectors, threaded connectors, I think I see a drip at the bottom of that 90 degree elbow. And I'm wondering if, also check the oil and it's low. So I think the leaking that I may be experiencing is not from the hydraulic cylinder, but from the engine. I might need to redo these oil drain pipe connections and get some tape on there and tighten them down a little better. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fire this up and take it for a ride. And the cylinder is still in place, and I'm going to operate it a few times. Now it's all nice and clean. If it is leaking, that will become manifest very clearly. And then also take a closer look afterwards at this drain pipe and see if that's dripping. And I might be all the further I need to go, because this, I'm starting to think I jumped the gun in assuming that this was the problem. It may not be. I'll let you know what I find out. Well, okay, I went for a joyride, and let me get my flashlight and something to kneel on. We'll take a look here. I operated, while I was out driving, I operated that hydraulic lift about 40 times, maybe, a bunch of times. Worked flawlessly every time. And I just want to see if there's any oil leaking. You know, I was thinking it was maybe up here. I don't see it. Don't see anything leaking here. Don't see anything leaking out the back. Don't see anything moist under there. I feel like here's a little bit moist, but that's just left over from, you know, that was underneath where the post goes through. I don't think that's any fresh leaks. Just a little bit of residual oil that had been under there. And yeah, I don't see it leaking. But how about this guy? I mean, I feel like there's a little drop of oil right there. See my finger? It's wet with oil. It's not a big leak, but I think what I'm dealing with is a case of misdiagnosis and jumping the gun. I think what I need to do is drain the oil and redo these connections. I think, and I say this happily, even though it's a little embarrassing, there's nothing wrong with that hydraulic cylinder. The problem was my oil drain pipe. So let me fix that, and I'm sort of glad that that's what it's come to, even though it feels kind of stupid. Because I really thought the hydraulic cylinder was faulty. Alright, let me fix that and get this leak solved. Okay, well, we've changed the oil, and I took off these pipe connections and redid them using some oil and gas resistant Teflon tape. And I tightened this guy down an extra revolution tighter, so I think that's going to be a lot better. And so all that remains really is to put the brake back on. So here's that spacer, then a washer, then this bushing, then the and the brake. This goes through there like that. And another bushing. Nice and tight up like that. And then this guy, and we tighten him down with the 1/8 Allen key. Okay, and I need a cotter pin. And that's this guy right here. Alright, so our brake's working again. And yeah, fill it up with oil. And sure our cap is tight. All right, that's pretty good. All right. Well, I do thank you guys for your kind attention today. I guess I get the Moron of the Month award. Probably would have given that to me anyway, right? I guess what I learned is don't jump to conclusions about what you think the problem is, and look into it more, especially before you buy parts. Fortunately, I didn't buy any parts for this job, and turned out to be simple. But in the process, I did learn about the hydraulic lift and how that operates, the control valve, the hydraulic cylinder, the double acting cylinder, the fluid. So it was valuable in that sense, even though I was barking up the wrong tree. I seem to do that a lot. All right, well, we're back in business. Next time we talk, I'm hoping that I will be able to show you putting the blade, the snowplow, on the front of this tractor, because that's my goal, to get this thing ready for winter. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.